Hello and welcome. My name is Jyothi, teaching for Yoga for Change. We're going to be doing a Yin practice today. We're going to be focusing on down-regulating the nervous system. So taking any volatile, airy, ethereal sort of energy that's sort of lofty, up high, maybe captured in the head, and using our Yin practice to really slowly bring that energy down into the more stable parts of our physicality. So bringing them down into the pelvis, rooting them into the earth. Let's get started by coming onto our mats, and we are somewhat rarely going to begin standing in the Yin practice tonight. So you can find yourself near the back of your mat. Take a moment, widen your feet a little bit wider than the hip distance apart. Let the arms just hang. Taking a full breath in here. And then as you exhale, thinking about that down regulation, tucking the chin to the chest, and just beginning to round one vertebra at a time. Almost as if there was a weight attached to the wrists, gently descending the upper body. If you find a particularly yummy spot, you're welcome to stay there for a breath or two, just kind of hanging out with the breath. And then just continuing your way down until the body naturally stops. Now, for some people, the hands might naturally find the floor here. For others, you might like to find a prop, like a block or a stack of books, and just kind of rest the hands or the forearms on that prop. You might allow the mind to check in with the feet. Notice how the weight is distributed between the feet. And let it settle somewhere right in the middle. Allow your focus here to really be on taking the energy in the body. With every exhale, let it travel down the spine towards the earth. A lot of times when we're feeling anxious or worried, we experience that with the monkey minds, this sort of rapid thought can even result in panic. And that is all really experienced in the mind, and so we're trying to shift that energy down into the more stable parts of the body. Let's take 2 more breaths here in this dangling posture. As you inhale, lift the head and the heart just a little bit, kind of let the blood pressure regulate here. You can keep the eyes closed. I'm going to take my prop, which is a block, and I'm going to slide it behind my feet, and then widen my feet the width of my mat, and turn my feet out 45 degrees. So my heels are on the mat, my toes are off. Begin to bend my knees and very gently sit myself down onto my prop here. And then I'm just going to let my spine round really effortlessly here. Letting the arms drop towards the floor. And again, it's sort of that gesture with the shape of the body itself of surrendering, of letting things go. This is another excellent opportunity as you find the breath in the body. Really use the exhalation to take that lofty, light, airy sort of energy and begin to channel it down the corridor of the spine. We are very mindfully going to shift forward into a child's pose. So I'm going to lift my head and my heart. And begin to walk my hands forward. I'm going to lower my right knee first, and then my left. I'm going to take this block, I'm just going to move it out of the way. I'm not going to need it for that child's pose. And I'm going to take a little variation here. Knees wide, my big toes come together. I'll take my right forearm in 90 degrees. And then just let my hips melt back and my forehead melt forward onto that right forearm. You can see my left arm is extended straight. And so what I begin to experience here is I begin to feel the energy, a down regulation in my body, shifting from the head and the neck down into the shoulders and the chest. And I'm using this posture accompanied with my breath to create more space for this energy to exist and to create some stability in this shoulder, upper chest region for that energy to reside. Now, if you're getting everything you would like to get from this shape, you're welcome to stay here. If you want something a little bit more, you can experiment with walking the right hand over to the left side of the mat. I'm going to flip my right palm up towards the ceiling and then melt my forehead back down. And in this position, I really feel how the awareness of the shape moves me into the upper back. And as I intensify and expand my breath, it's a sensation very similar to hollowing out a cave. It's like hollowing out space in the body for the energy to safely and calmly reside. Very mindfully begin to switch the sides of this child's pose, lifting the head and the heart just enough to extend the right arm forward. There you go. Bend the left forearm in 90 degrees and let the forehead come down onto that left forearm. And in this variation, I'm really feeling kind of the underarm area, the front of the pectorals and the chest, a place where I tend to create a lot of tension by being on my devices or driving a car, constantly working with things in front of my body. And so this is an opportunity to rewind the effects. Maybe you notice that that flighty, volatile energy that you might have felt at the beginning of the practice is beginning to feel a bit more weighted. As you lift the head and the heart, you can experiment with walking the left hand over to the right side of the mat. I like to flip my palm here and then lower back down. And I right away feel the awareness really shift to my upper back. And there is this brand new opportunity to create space and opening in that upper back region, particularly in the space between the left shoulder blade and the spine. Allow the breath to really exist fully and unapologetically in the upper back region. allowing the breath to be as expansive and full as it wants to be. And to come out of this, I'm going to slide my right palm back just a little bit for some support. Press down to unravel that left arm. And then I'm going to shift myself forward onto all fours. You can see we're slowly traveling to the front of the mat. We're eventually going to get there. Like so many things right, one little bit at a time. Let's begin to slide the right knee forward towards the right wrist. Building our Swan Pose. Let's rotate the right shin bone around until it naturally stops. There's no need to force here. Tuck the left toes and then just let the left leg extend back. And maybe do that again. Tuck the left toes, reach and extend the left leg, and that's what draws the pelvis down here. Now, if this is comfortable, you might like to take one breath just kind of upright in this swan. And then you can begin to move into more of a sleeping swan, lowering yourself forward. You might come onto your forearms. You might find that trusty prop again for your forehead. And if you get here and you think, gosh, this is so intense, I don't know if I can stay here. Know that you have the option of actually bending the left knee out to the side for a deer shape. And so if your body is really fighting against this swan shape, give yourself a pass of compassion and come into that deer shape instead. In this swan shape, we are once again invited to downregulate the energy in the body by shifting the energy towards the pelvis, which is in direct contact with the earth. And so what we've done with this practice is we have taken energy that feels very ethereal and airy. Like we can't quite get our hands around it. It's just constantly bouncing around. And through breath and stillness, we've begun to calmly channel that energy down through the various areas of the body and given it an earthen, heavied sort of quality. And then as gently as you can lift the head. We're just switching sides here, nothing complicated. Sliding that right knee back. If you need some movement here, if the body is really intuitively telling you it needs something, listen to that intuition. And then as you are ready, you're just going to begin to build that swan shape, sliding the left knee forward, spinning the left shin around just until it naturally stops. No forcefulness here. Tuck the right toes, reach the right leg back. That's what melts the pelvis. Tuck and reach. Maybe bring the breath one full inhale up. And exhale, melt it down and forward. Remembering you always have that compassionate option to bend the right knee in and find deer pose instead. The deer pose is a very valuable shape. So if you choose to take that shape instead, that's a really valid, good choice. What we've effectively done through this practice is we have communicated to the sympathetic nervous system that it can calm down, that it can kind of clock out for a little bit. And we've asked the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest part of the nervous system, to come online, to come on board. We've invited that rest and digest aspect of the nervous system to bring us back to a place of connection and belonging. Reminding us that we are always connected to our breath. We are always connected to the earth. And that our breath is the lifeline for connecting to that more calm, stable energy. Let's lift the head, walk the hands in. I'm going to come to a seat here, crossing my ankles for a brief closing meditation. If you would like to lie on your back and come into a resting pose, you are welcome to do that. You're even welcome to turn me off at this point and go into as long of a restoration as you would like to take. If this is all the time that you have today for yourself, I'm going to close us out with 3 rounds of square breath, which is a tool that you have at your disposal at any time to reset the nervous system. And what this square breath means is we'll inhale for 4, we'll hold the breath for 4, we'll exhale for 4, and hold it out for 4. Let's prepare for that square breath together. Take a full inhale in and out. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. Letting the eyelids flutter open. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourself. This breath is available to you all the time to downregulate. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for practicing. See you next time.